Oh wow, the faces I get. It's like, what's your major? I'm an engineer. Wow. It's like, yeah, people really don't believe me. Yeah, it's pretty much just like, you don't look like an engineer, you don't just like, I guess, and also, I guess the fact that I'm Hispanic is also like kind of weird. I mean, a lot of Hispanics like would go into like more like literature or like social things, because there's a lot of social issues that concern the Hispanic community. So I guess a lot of Hispanics don't come and they're like, hey, I'm gonna be an engineer. Going to this introduce a girl to engineering lunch. That was last year though, and I was wearing one of those bows I wear, and I look like a 6-year-old according to some friends, but I like them. And you know, I like to dress up and look nice and stuff. And I come in late because I had a class before. And this woman, I think she was organizing like the seating and everything. I come in and she's like, excuse me, this is like for engineering students. And I was like, yeah, I go to Parks. She just assumed I wasn't an engineering student because I didn't look like one. And a lot of people think that we have no girls in here, and you're probably rare in the engineering school, and actually no. If you come in, we're getting some girls here. Women are more like, oh, that's cool, you're doing engineering. Men are more like, wow, you're doing engineering. So from men, I get more of a surprise, and from women, I get more like a oh, that's cool kind of thing. So yeah, even my professors at the engineering school have some troubles like getting used to the fact that we're more women in some of my classes. Even like my junior year, our classes get smaller, like we're junior and senior year, and we're like 12 in a class, and like at least 7 were women. And we're really good friends, and we're a little loud before the class, and we just talk a lot and everything, and some of our professors are just not used to this, and I've gotten some comments, we've gotten some comments. One of them, usually I laugh at these things, but one of them was it really made me mad. I think he said we're too opinionated, or what was it? It was not opinionated, that wasn't the word he used. It was, you're too sensitive to criticism. We got that once, and I was like, we're not even criticized. Like, we're not even, they're just, you're too sensitive to criticism. And I did, like, they don't say it, like, out loud, but I do feel like they're just implying you're so many girls in this class, and you're just giggling too much very often, and things like that. So I do get that, but I like it. I like to show people that we're we're a bunch of girls, and we're happy, and we're loud, and we actually look good pretty much every day, and we're getting pretty decent GPAs in engineering, you know. And also we won that competition.
Oh, at Rolla.
We participated in this competition in Rolla, and I think we were 6 from SLU, 5 girls and a guy. And when we got in there, it was mainly guys. There was just one girl. It was like 30 people competing, or a little more. There was one girl when we got there, and then the 5 of us. And everyone looked at us like, yeah, whatever. You know, it's like they were like all these nerdy people, like all guys, just. And we ended up winning 3rd place and 1st place. And people were just like the most shocked. So I guess it felt really good that we're just, you know, we like can't do it. Without filling up a stereotype of a nerdy male engineer, we can do this. So that was cool. You could argue it's not completely wrong. There are a lot of like Hispanics that come in here and just get the first job they can get, you know, and they're perfectly respectable jobs. And then there's the other side of the story, which is like the super sexual Latina, perfectly looking Sofia Vergara kind of thing. So you're either expected to be a real good cook and really good at ironing shirts, or just look perfect and with this like super curvy, with this super thick accent woman. So there's like, it really it doesn't bother me in a way. I don't feel like it puts me on a box. I like it as a challenge. I like to like tell people, hey, I'm not doing either of those things, you know, and I'm still Hispanic, you know. But it also sometimes it makes me self-conscious of how I act, because see, from being like Hispanic, just from my culture, we are a lot more expressive in a lot of ways than like the normal, like the average American, you know, like we hug more, we touch more, and not in a sexual way, it's just how we are. So sometimes I feel like I need to repress that from myself, because I don't want to fall into a stereotype, you know, kind of thing. I don't want to fall into the Sofia Vergara kind of stereotype or something like that. And I love to cook. I love to cook completely. I can spend my time in the kitchen, and I love to dance. But sometimes I feel like I cannot just do that all the time, because then it's gonna put me in the other like little box of like the house person, like just like the maid or something like that. So yeah, sometimes they're kind of like they just make me a little self-conscious of what I'm doing once in a while. And that didn't happen like in Nicaragua at all. Like it's just like you do whatever you want. I have my Sofia Vergara moments once in a while. I was talking to Kitty the other day, and I told her, you know those, I was talking about the Miami airport, which I really like. It's very cute, and they have rocking chairs, but I completely forgot the name for rocking chairs. And I was like, you know those chairs that do like this? And I totally remember the Sofia Vergara. You know those things that taka. She was talking about helicopters. So I do have my moments. I feel that it's good that we have Sofia Vergara there, because I do think that making fun of some things in different cultures at least is like a media, or like a way to like getting people more used to like these cultures, and more like just laugh at ourselves. I laugh at her like when she pronounces things wrong. I love it. I completely love it. So I feel like there's a fine line between like it being like disrespectful, but it also helps with like just bringing different cultures together, just because you think that Fresh Off the Boat is funny, and I think that, and I'm Hispanic, and then an Asian person would just like look at Sofia Vergara and love the girl because she's hilarious. And you know, it's just a way of kind of getting to know these cultures. But you have to know that that's not how everyone is. You know, it's not how every Latino looks like. It's not, you know. So. My favorite line on earth is like, oh, you're from Nicaragua. I've been there. I was like, oh, what were you doing? I was on a mission trip, helping you people, you know, pretty much. I was like, oh, I just say thanks. I'm just like, okay, thank you. Okay. Yeah, because 90% of Americans that have been in Nicaragua have been there in mission trips, and I don't think that's a bad thing. We are a third world country, which it's really, honestly, I have to say, it's not a term I find offensive, a third world country, unless you're trying to be offensive. But I feel like these people go on mission trips, and a lot of them tend to think of these countries as lesser countries, or like they need us so much, so we go do them a favor. So they don't experience the actual like Nicaraguan culture or anything like that. So yeah, I don't go there, right? Yeah, if you tell me, hey, I'm from this country, and I tell you I've been there in a mission trip, I don't know, it's just the way like people say it to you. It's a reality. We have a big part of the population, a majority that lives in like, it's just conditions that Americans would like never even think of, you know, like these are countries where middle class is not really big, and you know, when you're middle class, it's not really big. Like, it's really hard to grow as a country. So we have problems, but sometimes just stereotyping the whole country is not really helping the country at all. Yeah. That's weird. And then in class, I mean, we get a lot of jokes, and once in a while you just like laugh at them, but once in a while it's just, okay, that was a little too much. So yeah, I didn't show up to class once. They did ask if I was deported. It was a joke, and I actually found that a little funny. But yeah, it comes into more of a serious issue if you really think about it, you know. Because I'm Hispanic, I didn't show up to class. I'm in the United States, so you know, you just assume I was deported, right? But yeah, I've seen there's a lot of division in parks. Not because we want to. I feel it comes from both parts. It's not only like the American students, but like sometimes the international students tend to just stick all together. So I mean, once in a while, our professors just try to criticize how like they see a division, like the Chinese students are all together, and then the American students are all together, and then Teresa gets criticized because she's with the American students. She should be with the international students, right? So I feel like it's just there are divisions that just happen because of like language or something like that. They prefer sticking together, but I do think that most professors at Parks don't really help. I mean, I feel that Parks is a completely different world than the rest of the university. Like I go to work at International Services, and it just feels like a different place. I feel like I could be carrying my flag around and still, and like I feel like if I do that here, it's just weird. I feel like I kind of need to repress my identity a little more to Parks, just because it feels so different. It's just completely different. So it's gotten better with the Brazilian program that brings a lot of kids to like the engineering school. It feels more like home. I actually feel a little more comfortable just because there's people out there speaking a different language. Maybe making some of the people that used to be a majority in Parks a little uncomfortable, but that's good. I like to make most of my friends feel a little uncomfortable. I do like to push people out of their comfort zone. A lot of my white American friends know that, and if you really don't like that, you shouldn't be my friend, because I really like to push people out of their comfort zone a little bit. I feel that's like doing my part a little.